Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Love ya. And I'm sure this is a video now the Europeans are gonna hate because they really dislike whenever I say anything good about America. At least the people who watch my videos. And usually get comments along the lines of ignorant American and things. And if you really believe that, okay, that's your prerogative. But I have a lot of issues with America. I don't think it's the greatest country in the world. I think Norway probably is. But I was going to say one thing that I think America does oftentimes head and shoulders better than the rest of the world. And I haven't been like a crazy amount of places, but I've been to a few different continents and countries, and I have never experienced anything close to what American customer service. In my opinion, American customer service is far better than any other country, at least that I've been to. Maybe there are better ones, but of all that I've been to, and that's just some countries in Asia, some countries in Europe, some countries in South and Central America, and North America. So I've never been to Africa. Maybe they have better customer service. Maybe in the Middle East. And maybe there's individual countries within those, whatever, that might be better. Don't need to keep repeating myself. But I'll give a few examples, and these are anecdotal, but it's a little bit hard to quantify customer service, so oftentimes it does come down to anecdotes. So, an example of, in Europe, they will put food, and the few places that I've been that I remember this being very obvious is Portugal, Germany, and I can't remember. I don't want to say a country and then have it not be the case, but I can't remember exactly other ones, but certainly Germany and Portugal. They put the food in front of you, and if you eat it, you are charged for things that you didn't order. Now, in America, whatever's put in front of you, that's either free or you paid for it, and so it's yours. But they do this to like tempt you into eating. I found it particularly shocking that they put something as simple as bread, which they put these like, I forgot, it's like a pretzel, I think, in Germany, and then they charged me for it, and I asked about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't pay. He's like, I didn't pay for it, and the guy was like, oh, you ate it, and I was probably visibly upset, and he was almost laughing. He was like smiling at me, like a, what I would say was not cool, and do I expect Europeans to cater to American customs? No, absolutely not. But I could have at least gotten over it if the guy, or it would have been much more palpable if the guy was just decent and nice about it and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we put these in front, and yeah, if they're not free." Or they could put like a sign that says these cost this much. They're whatever it was, €1 or €2 or something. It's not so much it's not the money, it's the act, and this whenever a price is not upfront, I think it's not good, and that does happen in America. But I find that the negative, in the bad part. It's not all perfect customer service in America. Just happened to be recently, actually. But overall, that would not. I've never heard of that happening in America. I've never seen that. It's never happened to me. And also, if you go, I've experienced it in I think every country in Europe I've been to is it would be. I'm trying to remember exactly, but I think in Spain and Germany and France, Portugal, Belgium, and I don't know if I tried in Sweden, but every place I remember going to, they if I asked them for to use their bathroom and I wasn't a customer, I hadn't already purchased something there, they they would look at me like I just castrated their only child or something. Like I did the worst thing you could ever do. They looked at me like I was absolutely insane. Same thing if I asked for a cup of water. Absolutely no. And I mean, I don't even know what they would do if I asked for Wi-Fi password. But speaking outside of Europe, I was in Mexico, asked for a cup of water. They looked at me like I was insane. Same thing in Brazil. They actually did give it to me in Mexico. And from my understanding of Starbucks policy, because it's an American company, they should give you one wherever you are. I believe that the policy is to give, just like McDonald's, if you go into McDonald's anywhere, they're supposed to give you a cup of water, I believe. I want to say 100%, but any of them that I've been to, they will, and they'll let you use the bathroom and they'll let you use the Wi-Fi, with some exceptions in highly dense area where there's a lot of homeless people that might try to live in the bathroom or something like that. Or if they're super busy, they might just say no. But yeah, these companies will let you often get a glass of water, use their bathroom, use their Wi-Fi. I don't know, might even help with something else. Starbucks, McDonald's, and so these companies have more of like a long-term view of making a relationship with a customer, and I'm far more likely to actually buy something from them if they just let me use their Wi-Fi. You know, what would that cost them? Like a few pennies, a few euro cents. Probably nothing, because they probably just pay monthly. So there's some extreme, I understand people taking advantage of those types of things, but overall, I would guess those companies make more money because they allow people to do something as simple as use their bathroom. When is in Europe, and it's much more. It feels like a drug deal. It feels like, and this is definitely in Asia too. This is, and in terms of Middle Eastern people I've dealt with outside, Indian people, they will, the ones that I've dealt with will try to extract every cent from the transaction and look at you like you're their sworn enemy, as opposed to in America where it's like, they do want to get as much money, of course. Every company and person wants to get as much money as they can, but they're not trying to scam you. They're not trying to trick you into getting something. Remember, I was buying this lighter from a Middle Eastern guy, and we agreed on a price, which is pretty rare in America, but he was open to bargaining, I guess. And once we agreed on the price, I put my card in this thing, gave me the receipt, and it was a higher price than what I agreed to. This is, in America, this is absolutely insane. If I had any sense, I would have called the police. But I was pretty young at the time, and I don't know what to do, but I was very upset. In America, we have a saying called it's not. It's obviously like overstated and it's not completely true, but it does show how much American companies are committed to customers. It's like the customer is always right. Again, it's not true, obviously, but if there's anything wrong with the product, if it's not functioning, if you get something shipped to you and it doesn't show up, it's on the company to prove that they sent it. It's on the company to prove that it wasn't because of user error that something broke. It's not always the case, and not everything can be that simple, and sometimes it is going to fall on the customer to prove that it was the product's fault or whatever. But certainly with like large companies, they're going to do everything they can to prove that whatever problem that you have with their product or service is not because of them, and if it is, then they'll try to fix it. I remember hearing my old Spanish teacher, she said that she had bought an adapter from an electronics store in Mexico, and a charger, and she didn't get the adapter for it, or the correct adapter. Maybe she tried to get an adapter, but it didn't work. A little fuzzy in the details, but something like this. And it fried her computer, so it was completely destroyed. And so she went back to them, and they wouldn't even give her like money for the charger back or adapter. They wouldn't give her any money to compensate for her computer being destroyed. And I don't know the details, so I can't say if it was totally their fault or if she had some thing to blame, or if maybe she just went in there and bought and didn't talk to them. I don't know 100%. But if she went in there and talked with somebody and they gave her this for her computer and she showed it to them and then it broke, it would be, in America, usually be on the company to fix what they did wrong. I hesitate to even say what they did wrong, but fix the problem that was caused due to her taking their suggestion or their advice. And in these countries in Europe, like when I want to get something, Europe and Asia, South America, sometimes Central America, often Central America, Mexico. People are just like angry. I don't get it. I don't know why you would have a bad attitude towards someone who's trying to give you money. But it's really off-putting, and I'm not one for fakeness either. I don't think American sort of customer service should be like, "Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm wonderful. Oh, good to see you." But I do think you should have a generally upbeat countenance, at least neutral, not like negative or like these. There's this guy from India that owns some subways in the city where I grew up, and he had an employee from India, and I asked him if bacon costs extra on the sandwich, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll get it then, and then I got the receipt, and he had charged me extra for bacon. I was like, I want a refund. You just like went like this when I asked if it cost extra, and he's like, oh, I have to talk with the manager, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, oh, he's not here. Just like this is like insane. If this were somebody born and raised in America, that would not fly. That would not happen. That's never happened to anybody who's like born and raised American. I don't even think this guy was American, even naturalized, but I guess I don't know at all. But he comes in there with a different culture. And I've heard that Russian people will often try to get like whatever they can out of a company. So there's a company in America called Costco that has a very generous return policy that they allow people to return things for a whole year, even if it's like destroyed. Often they will take something back, and so allegedly a lot of Russians will buy something and use it for almost a year and then take it back. And I know someone who actually did that, a Russian person. And so in that sense, I guess that's more of a customer issue than. But so I would give the Russian companies maybe a pass. But I've never been to Russia anyway, so I don't know how the customer service is. I was going to touch on one more thing. Oh, yeah, in terms of returns, you can usually return things to an American store if you haven't like ruined it, or if it's something like a cup that you drank out of, they probably won't take that back. But if you haven't like opened the packaging or something like this, they will probably take it back. It's Walmart, Target, Costco, even sometimes high-end retailers, things like Abercrombie or Apostle or whatever. Video games, all these things like they usually take. Most things you can think of it, you can return. Whereas in a country like, say, Brazil, if you buy it, it's yours. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people might not care about this sort of thing, but I really like that about America, and I would give up that for some other things. It would be nice to know that if I ever get hurt, that I can go to the hospital and have good care. But I wasn't trying to make a comparison of all the good and bad things about America, just saying there's one good thing in this video. So anyway, I didn't mean to offend anybody, but these are just personal things that I've seen. Like I said, it's mostly anecdotes and things that I've heard or experienced. But yeah, thanks for watching. Love ya. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. But take care. Bless.